Hi, it's Texas. Thanks for watching CBS 19 Plus. We'll go in depth here into this forecast, taking a look at some good news when it comes to the weather forecast here next week and about 5 to 6 days out. And then we'll also look at the tropics and talk about how we're getting close to the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season. All right, let's start by taking a look at September here in East Texas. As you know, we should see temperatures begin to gradually fall off in terms of average daytime highs and average nighttime lows. Start of the month, we're still looking at average daytime highs around 92 and average overnight lows around 72. By the end of the month, look at that. Average high by the end of the month, 83, average low around 63. We tend to see a little uptick in the rainfall during the month of September, averaging a little more than 3 inches for the month. And our average winds are out of the southeast, averaged out at about 7 miles an hour. Rainiest day of the month ever recorded September 20th, 2013. Back on that date, there was 5¼ inches of rain. We've already passed the all-time warmest September day. That was on September 4th. We'll see if we can get up to 109. I don't think we'll make it that warm this year, but we should see highs back to around 100 degrees once again, and that is because the heat dome returns, except we're not firmly under the heat dome this time around. We're kind of on the edge of it, but it should be hot enough to get us to around 103 or 104 as the week goes on. You'll notice this little storm here over the Great Lakes. That's the storm that brought us scattered showers, thunderstorms Sunday, Labor Day, and again on Tuesday. This storm will be dropping into the Great Lakes or upper Midwest as the week goes on and into the weekend, and this will drag probably the strongest cold front we've seen here in East Texas, going all the way back to June and dropping our high temperatures into the 80s next week, and I'll show you when coming up in just a little bit. But it's going to get hot. We're going to see highs around 103 to 104 through Friday, and then that high will begin to retreat as it does late Friday night into Saturday. Here comes this broad upper low dragging a cold front. Look at the winds. They're oriented out of the northwest. This should also bring a thunderstorm complex into the area sometime Friday into Saturday, and then the heat retreats to the desert southwest, leaving us with somewhat of what we would call a zonal flow. And when we have a zonal flow, we tend to see temperatures close to average. Average this time of the year around 92 degrees. So we should be in the low to mid 90s as we round out the weekend into next week. Then that low pressure system deepens as it approaches the Great Lakes. An even stronger cold front is arriving Monday with a chance of showers followed by some cooler weather. So let's take a look at future skycast. And we'll see Wednesday morning waking up to sunshine, maybe an isolated shower, and then Wednesday evening, a little boundary drops down to about Interstate 30. And so some scattered showers and a couple thunderstorms will be possible here from around Interstate 20 up through the Arklatex. That'll fade away once the sun sets. We'll go into Thursday. It should remain dry Thursday. Some sea breeze showers right along the Gulf of Mexico through Houston, Galveston down to about Port Aransas. Then Friday, here comes that little thunderstorm complex moving in as the dome retreats. Those showers and thunderstorms are running right along the edge of that ridge, and so we have a chance to see scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday afternoon into Friday evening, ending overnight into Saturday. So the weekend forecast, the sun-cloud mix, maybe a morning shower, otherwise a high of 95. Saturday, mostly sunny with a morning low around 70, but a daytime high around 96. And then look at this 10-day temperature trend, and I want your eyes to focus right here on that number on September 12th, 85. We have not seen 80s for a high temperature here in East Texas in 83 days. So that takes us back to June. And we get a couple of days where the temperatures are in the 80s, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday may come with some morning rain showers, and Wednesday may also come with morning rain showers. Quite a bit of cloud cover, but an east-northeast wind to also help to make it feel a little cooler. And then Thursday and Friday, we begin to warm back up. But even at 90 to 91, those temperatures should be just about average for this time of the year. The thing that sticks out like a sore thumb would be the next couple of days where highs are at 101 on Wednesday, 103 on Thursday, and 104 on Friday. Rainfall reports, nothing officially yet at Tyler Pounds in September. Longview's had 1/100 of an inch. Lufkin had a nice downpour a couple days ago, and so they actually have a surplus in the rain gauge when you compare this. This compared to average is the seasonal rainfall amounts now. If you remember back in the summer, we talked about June 1st to August 30th. Now we're going to talk about September 1st to the end of November. That'll be the fall season, and we'll be looking at the rainfall totals compared to what we should be in that point of time. For the year, you can see we're still running a deficit at Tyler, Longview, and Lufkin's about an inch below average, but Tyler is almost 7.5 inches below average. Rainfall outlook over the next 7 days. And again, a lot of this will be tied to those showers Wednesday, but more so with the rain that comes in Friday evening and into the first part of Saturday. Some of us have the potential to pick up a ½ inch of rainfall, if not a little bit more in some spots. So this is very good news to see this. Back toward Dallas, maybe more than an inch and a quarter. They desperately also need the rain. So rainfall is showing up. Again, as I mentioned, we need the rain because the current drought index that came out last week on Thursday, look at extreme drought now into parts of Rusk County, into Cherokee County, Anderson County, Panola County. That really crept up from the south and some of the southeast over the last few weeks. And even severe drought now in Van Zandt County, most of Smith County, and a little sliver of Gregg County. So our forecast fire danger for Wednesday is very high in parts of Rusk and Nacogdoches County. Otherwise, it is high across the rest of the area. A little more rain down to the south is helping areas in Sabine County and up to the northeast where the Arklatex remain in the moderate level. But what kind of accentuates the fire threat for tomorrow will be breezy southwest winds first half of the day, out of the south at about 7 to 13 miles an hour, at times gusting. And the forecast relative humidity Wednesday afternoon, quite low, 36%. Now in the morning it always comes up a little bit, but Thursday afternoon, those relative humidities drop back again to that 30 to 38%. That might just be enough to keep us out of some red flag warnings. As we look ahead to Friday morning, notice the moisture is beginning to increase. That should help set the stage again, as I mentioned, to see some showers and thunderstorms. All right, forecast highs tomorrow up around Mount Pleasant, 98 degrees. In Tyler and Longview, around 100 to 101. Jacksonville, 99. And again, a late day shower or thunderstorm can't be ruled out. Upper 90s in Nacogdoches, close to 101 in Crockett. Quick look at the tropics. So we have this depression here that should become Lee and turn into a Category 4 storm as it moves north and east of Puerto Rico. Then there's another storm out here that in 7 days has a chance to become another named storm. In fact, it has a 70% chance to become a named storm over the next 7 days. And if you notice here, we've had all the way up to Katia so far with a tropical storm, but again, we should add. But as we look at the peak season, we are approaching. September 10th is the peak of our tropical season. All right, here's your Bill Scott White Texas Pine Druid Hospital 10-day forecast. So 100 degrees the next 3 days with a 30% chance of rain Wednesday, afternoon or evening thunderstorms Friday, then cooler Saturday, dry Sunday 96, and then scattered showers Monday with a cold front ushering in the coolest weather we've seen here since June. Thanks for watching CBS 19 Plus.